There are only 3 rules at the Santa Ana Holdsten Peach Orchard. No stealing product, no drunkenness or gambling, and absolutely no organizing. Well, Gloria Mae Willard isn't about to organize any peaches. No, ma'am. She's got more on her mind than that. Like the secret all boys baseball team she's desperate to play for, if only they'd give her a chance. Or the way that wages keep going down. The way their company lodgings are dirty and smelly, and everyone seems intent on leaving her out of everything. But Gloria has never been the type to wait around for permission. If the boys won't let her play, she'll find a way to make them. If the people around her are keeping secrets, then she'll keep a few of her own. And if the boss man at the Santa Ana Holdsten Peach Orchard says she can't organize peaches, then by golly, she'll organize a whole ball game. Here is a preview of Three Strike Summer by Skyler Schrempp. It is a nominee for 2024 to 2025 for the California Young Reader Medal in its intermediate category. Outside, just beyond our front door, Pa was having a word with the bank man. Inside, Jessamine splashed a cold shock of water over my scalp to loosen up the last week's worth of dust from my hair. It sloshed at the bottom of the wash basin, cloudy as pond muck. "Watch it you don't splash my eye," I spat, shaking my head like a wet dog. "What you gotten into anyway? Your head's as dirty as your feet," said Jess. "Good," I said. "That's how I like it." Jess answered back with another pour of water that flooded my eyes and ears for just a moment. She was doing this on purpose, washing my hair, keeping my head down, pinning me here in the kitchen over a doggone wash basin. She was doing it so I wouldn't see what was going on. But I knew. I knew that bank man was coming. I knew what he was there for. And I knew what would happen when he was done with us. Besides, Jess couldn't keep me from peering up through my dripping locks to look down the dark, empty hall into the empty sitting room and out there just beyond the screen door. Pa was standing there, stunted fields of wheat behind him, our sad, still windmill looking on in the distance. He was standing, all dust and jeans and wounded pride. Seeing him like that, his work shirt faded, and thin against the black-brushed suit of that man, made me hold on tight to the wash basin so the world wouldn't spin too bad. It had been spinning a lot more than usual lately. "Quit looking, Gloria," Jessamine snapped, scrubbing harder, but I kept my eyes on Pa. He had taken the bank man outside so we didn't have to hear him beg. But even with all Jessamine's sloshing and scrubbing and scolding, I could still hear him say words like loan, please, and one more week. He could have said all that in front of me. Our things had been packed for weeks. Ma had already sent her wedding linen to Aunt May in Tulsa for safekeeping. I'd seen the look on the grocer's face when we came in. I'd heard Pa cursing at the fields and the sky and the rain, wherever it was, and I'd heard Ma and Pa whispering long into the night when we all should have been sleeping. I know what it meant when you didn't pay and didn't pay and didn't pay. I felt it in the worn-out knees of my overalls and in the empty part of my stomach. I could see it in the way Pa carried himself and in the way Ma looked out the window. It wasn't our fault. First the rain stopped falling, then the wheat stopped growing, then the dust storms started coming. Then the tractor stopped working, and the jars in the cellar started dwindling, and Pa stopped joking and joshing, like the words dried right up in his mouth. And then Ma got big, and Pa tried not to say, "How we gonna feed one more kid?" But we all knew he was thinking it. And Ma tried not to say, "We've lost our minds bringing a baby into this world," but we all knew she was thinking it. I tried not to say how rip-roaring it would be to be someone's big sister, but they all knew I was thinking it. By the time little Cy came screaming into the world, we all knew just to hold our tongues and stare that something so tiny and so perfect could come when there had been nothing but bad news. He was scrawny and red as a cherry, but Ma was beaming because she said, other than being fussy, he was the healthiest baby she'd seen. Maybe she was lying, but I don't think so. I just think when you're so small, you can't take as much dust into you as a girl like me can. It was just me and Jess there in the kitchen, the two of us. It should have been 3. "Jess," I mumbled into the wash basin. "What?" I bit my lip. I was about to say something I knew I shouldn't. I'd been dancing around it all week since Pa had said quietly at supper that we were going to have to leave our farm and head west for greener pastures and better work in California. I'd held my tongue when Jessamine begged Ma not to kill the egg-laying chickens she had raised and given glamour names to. I'd held my tongue when Ma went out back and snapped Yvette and Rosalina's necks anyway. I'd held my tongue when Pa had taken apart the bed Jessamine and I shared and sold it for scrap so he could get our pickup truck in shape for the drive. I'd held my tongue just like everyone else had held their tongue about whatever it was that was on their minds that was just too sad to say out loud. And this has been a preview of 3 Strike Summer.